text messages and thoughts. And today they have so much in common, it seems. I want to speak to you about this. I've been smiling thinking about talking about this in the video and just reminding myself not to get on some kind of generational bandwagon about it either, because it concerns me for sure how we have bound ourselves and used this apparently great, and I do think it's great opportunity of communication through all these different platforms. So all these different social media platforms and text messaging and emails. So we have all these ways in which we can communicate with each other, whereby it has become, okay, I am on my bandwagon just a little bit. It's become old-fashioned to actually have a voice-to-voice call with somebody, like to just call them. We actually now text them before we call them. People don't ring your doorbell anymore or knock at your door. They text you when they're at the door. It's just like, it's funny to me. So yes, I can see the advantages, but I see one thing in particular strongly, which is that our sense of not good enough has found a fantastic way of imprisoning itself through how quickly we respond to messages and emails and calls, but probably not so much calls, but the other messages and emails. How quickly are we getting back to those? And are we then telling people, is there some sort of communication of their value in relation to us in terms of the speed with which we respond? And in terms of when they respond to us similarly, are we measuring our own worth based on that? So what I was thinking earlier is that if some, I don't know, if some race of beings, let's call them clouds, as I look out the window, I see them. So they're clouds, they're cloud people, and they want to control us. And they've created this amazing program, which is all based around the enslavement through social media and modern communication technology. It would be an actually excellent way, think about it, excellent way of enslaving us, because we're just so transfixed by this engagement with this. Now, there are real people. At the end of all of this, but things have become kind of throwaway. And I want to say that you're still making choices here. So let's start on the surface. You can make a choice about whether you answer a message or not, and when you answer it. I know it doesn't seem like that, but try training yourself to respond less quickly, not instantly. Try choosing. I'm trying more and more to actually block out a bit of time in my day. As my days get busier, it certainly becomes imperative that I do this, to just deal with messages. And I just sit down and deal with messages and deal with emails and things, and that's kind of the one time that I'll go and do that. That's a theory. I'm working toward that. But underneath all this, the response time of other people to our messages and our own, it's just a vehicle for not good enough. It's a way of kind of whipping us up into a frenzy. It's a program almost that's running in our head. And we use this, the way in which somebody communicates, which emojis, oh my God, did we ever get to this point where this is like our primary form of communication? And, you know, the value that we place on that, or not, as it may be. So if you would like to have a little peace in relation to that, look to your feelings that lie underneath. You can choose not to engage with this, you know. You can choose not just the timing, but not to engage with the sense of not good enough. It actually has nothing to do with it. And as long as you're attaching to the idea that your value is in the speed with which somebody answers your message, then for sure you're going to validate it with a slower response time. And no, you're not going to increase your response time from them if you decide that you're going to be cool with that. It's not a problem, because it's coming from a need to shift that not good enough away, and therefore it's not accepted. Remember, the key is acceptance. So So that's the text messages, but it came to me today about runaway thoughts and how they're a bit like an avalanche. And I was thinking about how totally invested we are in doing, just doing, and or avoiding by not doing, but the both, one or the other. And I was thinking about our thought patterns and how, there's a situation that will present itself, and then what we do is we immediately say, okay, what am I going to do? And there's this sense of urgency, and that's why I'm equating it with the whole text messages and the social media messaging. That sense of urgency is also there. What am I going to do about it? Well, actually, you can just observe it to start with. You actually can just observe it. And so today, for my own situation, I found myself having one of those thoughts that picked up a little bit of speed in my mind. And then as soon as you engage with one, an avalanche of other thoughts will come afterward. But I certainly noticed myself doing this. And here's the thing. I think that nothing has ever been gained from thinking in that way. It could be argued that maybe nothing has ever been gained by thinking, but I'm not going to open that one up for now. Let's just say, and it's true, that nothing has ever been gained from that kind of frenzied thinking. I don't think we solve problems that way. All we do is feed our sense of panic or fear or whatever's, driving those thoughts. And you're just running a loop program in your mind. Now, what I did instead, is I took myself out. I went somewhere different. I had a walk outside, and everything just right away stilled. So those runaway thoughts, being trapped in those thoughts, keep doing those things that you know about that help to interrupt them. Take yourself out into nature. It's amazing the effect it has, actually. You think for something that's there, that we can all access it in one way or another, even in the middle of the city. If you just take yourself to a slightly less busy part, or go and sit under a tree or walk on some grass, immediately you feel different. We're calibrated to connect to nature and to benefit from that. So go on, just get yourself out there. Take a breath, take 2 breaths, take 3 breaths. Surely you can give yourself that. Breathe deeply into your whole body and just feel that breath. And as soon as you do that, you bring yourself into the present moment. You don't have to run after your thoughts. You can observe them. You'll gain nothing from it. And at the end of the day, you're not in control anyway. You think you are. You're simply running a program. And so it's a notion of control that has us constantly chasing our tail. But the program will run itself. You don't have to get on it and run with it. You can just observe it. And as you observe it, without engaging with it and kind of bringing yourself back to that focus, that inner breath focus, that present moment, you'll notice that the thoughts will calm down, actually. They won't come so frenzied. They definitely will slow down. So make your choices here. Social media, text messages, emails, choose. It's nothing to do with your value. Your value lies in you and will only be experienced by connecting to that within. That's it. There's no other way. Nothing external will ever give you that. Nothing you do is ever going to give you that, and nothing you run away and escape from will ever give you that expanded, deep peace of the present moment. So those are my words for you today. I hope you're having a great day, and do send me any messages if you have anything to share. I always like to hear them.